Good evening. Can everybody hear me? Good. I'm Vanessa Clark, Superintendent of Schools. Very proud to call myself Superintendent of this amazing school district. And welcome to yet another celebration of great accomplishments. We had an incredible athletic year despite the challenges that we faced due to the pandemic. And we've said that many times, but it was truly an epic year. I want to thank our athletic director, Mrs. Del Vento Evans, for leading the charge. We certainly could not have done it without you. Thank you to our coaches for being amazing role models. We certainly could not have done it without all of you. And thank you to our student athletes for your grit and determination. It was not easy. It was not an easy task, and yet you got it all done. So a round of applause to all of you. And really, as a whole, thank you to our entire district, our teachers, our administrators, our board members. I've said it many times, pockets of success here and there, but collectively, we made it to the end of the school year. And we did it because we did it together. So a round of applause to all of us. And we have 4 days left. So Mrs. Del Vento Evans, let's get this started. 4 days left of school and a couple more celebrations to go.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. I know that it's a very busy week, especially for all the varsity athletes between prom and graduation, and a lot of ceremonies just all squished in at the end due to the unfortunate pandemic. But I will tell you, I've never been happier to see all these faces in one area to celebrate so many accolades that have overcome so much adversity. If you would have told me in August when my coaches came in and asked me, like, do you think we're going to play our first game? Do you think we're going to have our first scrimmage? Do you think we're going to get our first 6 practices in? And parents calling me and asking me, do you think my son or daughter is going to get their senior year in athletics? It was the unknown, right? It was the unknown about everything. Whether it was you at home trying to just shop from Costco. I know people were just trying to get Costco at home. We never thought the world of athletics was going to take place when, you would turn around and saw that the NBA was shut down. And it was scary times. And unfortunately, for the mental health and the well-being of our student athletes, this is what they live by. This is what they know. They go from the fall season to the spring season, and then they jump back in summer hours, and we rotate all the way through. And it's a release for them, all right? It allows them to break down the stress of the everyday of a teenager and get out there and participate in something that they're passionate about and, be with their friends and be in a good place. So if you asked me if I ever would have thought we'd have all 3 seasons this year, I would say I didn't think or know that was going to happen. If you ever told me that we were going to have the most championships in 1 year, more than we've had in the last 10 years, we have 7 of those, which is great. I'd just like to applaud that. We had a dedicated Challenger League that worked hard throughout the entire year, no matter what it took. We want to applaud you guys too. So as you know, this is not how the ceremony night usually takes place. It usually takes place at every board meeting, and as people win a championship, they go to the October board meeting or November board meeting for the fall. Then for the winner, depending upon when they finish, whether it's basketball, obviously wrestling goes later, their accolades would be spoken about at a board meeting also. So here we are, and I spoke to, obviously, Dr. Clark, and some upper admin, and we didn't think it was really fair or did it justice to have it on a Zoom meeting. So we are very thankful that the Board of Education and Dr. Clark have worked very hard to get us back in the building and to allow us to all be here, especially with parents. Even when we started planning this ceremony, well over a month ago, it was that we were going to meet in the gym and that the kids were going to be rotated in by sport. So I'm very thankful that tonight that we have everybody in here and all the student athletes can support each other, because that's what it's about day in and day out. For all the parents, thank you so much for your time, for your energy, for trusting the school with the safety of your children, for trusting the coaches. I know that this was a very rough time, and I would pick no other Army to go through it with than my coaches. They're an amazing set of human beings. They work hard. When you sat and heard about people not wanting to go back to work and what was the plan to come back in September, these people were here every day at 6 a.m. starting in July. 0 questions asked, because they did it for the kids. And when you look back on the pandemic, look back and see how many people had 100% staff that didn't question once, should they arrive at work for their athletes, and they did it for the kids. And I think that in itself speaks very highly of our coaches, which is why we have successful teams, because they leave it all on the table, just like we always say, leave it all on the field before every game. So without further ado, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna introduce a coach, and that coach is going to introduce the next coach. There's gonna be no specific order. We have 7 championship teams tonight. We have 8 teams overall that are being recognized. Feel free, if you want to come up and take pictures, you're more than welcome to. You're not stuck sitting in the seat. The coach is going to be called up, and guys, everybody's listening ears, you're going to come up with your coach. You could enter on that side, and you could exit on this side. Make sure you pause, make sure you smile. All right, as much as I know you won the championship, your parents might want to take a picture to remember that, because they worked hard driving you back and forth to practices and stressing over everything of whether or not it was the right thing to do to let you to participate. So again, thank you to all parents for entrusting in the school system, and thank you for allowing us to give your kids, the mental health and the success they needed this year. And one more time, a round of applause for everybody who won a championship. Good job, guys. The first coach that's going to come up is Coach Leonard with the Challenger League.
Good evening, guys. I'm Coach Leonard. This is the Challenger League. We play 3 seasons. We do soccer, we do football, as well as basketball. Just like you athletes, these guys work hard every day. We did Zoom meetings. We did workouts just to get these kids involved. Those of you that do not know what Challenger is a diverse group of students where we have buddies and athletes that work together to build and form relationships. Anybody could be a part of it, whether you're an athlete or a buddy. Probably one of the most rewarding things you could ever do in your life. We play teams like Southern, we play Pinelands, we play just the same amount teams as many of you individuals have. Championship, we win championships every day, guys. As you see, we have some medals around their neck. That's Special Olympics. We had one Challenger athlete who placed 3rd out of Ocean and Monmouth County for pump, pass, and kick. So if you guys ever have the opportunity to do it, join it, guys. Join it. I promise you, these guys work hard. We work hard. Just filling out the forms, we filled out the forms. And I could not be happier than this bunch of kids right here. So let's give them a round of applause for our athletes. So like I said, if you want to get involved, you can come see me. Coach Risden and I are the ones who run the program. More the merrier. We have a big turnout this year, so it's been a lot of fun. So if you really want to join us and have fun, you know where to find us. Thank you. Next up, we have Coach Mahar for soccer. You guys ready? Want a picture? Look at Mr. Zelinsky. Look right here. Smile. Smile. Thank you. All right, let's go this way.
All right, first of all, I would like to, before we introduce some of the players, I would like to thank Dr. Clark and the rest of the Board of Education for putting this together, and Ms. Delvento Evans. This is such a huge thing for these athletes to be recognized. Before I say a little bit about our women's soccer team, I just want to congratulate all the teams on such a great year for Lacey Sports. I mean, this is unheard of, to have this many championships in one year. So everybody should be very, very proud of themselves. As far as the girls soccer team goes, we were B-South champs for the second time in the last 4 years. We ended up with a record of 12-3-1, in division 11-2-1, and our seniors are lucky enough to have won 2 division championships in their 4 years here. So that in itself is an accomplishment. I would like to introduce our seniors, who are all co-captains this year. Kaylee Beal, step forward. Yeah, give a wave. Amira Cardenas. Nicole Caraggio. And unfortunately, our 4th senior captain, Juliana Rattino, could not make it. But congratulations to her as well. We had numerous individual honors this year. First team All-County, Marley Besser, Juliana Rattino. First team All-Division, Marley Besser, Juliana Rattino, Abby Stevens, and Beth Stevens. We had 4 people named to that team. First team Press of AC, Abby Stevens and Marley Besser. Second team, Juliana Rattino, and also honorable mention, Amira Cardenas, Rosio Cardenas, and Beth Stevens. Just phenomenal accomplishment by all of these young ladies. And one of the best things about it is we only have 4 seniors. We're graduating only 4 people. So we are looking forward to an even better, if that's possible, 2021 season. So congratulations, ladies. I'm going to miss you, seniors. The rest of you, we will see in a few short weeks. Be ready to work. All right, you guys can exit that way. Oh, nope, you're going to stay there for a picture. Huh? I didn't say I was. You're up. I was lucky enough as a coach this year to have 2 division winners in 1 year, soccer and women's bowling. So we are now going to talk about our bowling team. So once again, our bowling team this year won the B-South Championship, and it also was their second time winning in the last 4 years. They finished with a record of 24-6. You can applaud them. And I can honestly tell you that we really had no idea how this team was going to be this year. We graduated Megan Hanaway off of last year's team, who is in the record books as the best bowler ever in Lacey history with all the records that she broke. I'm sure you can applaud her and she'll hear it somewhere. But it was quite evident from the very first day of tryouts with this group that they all put in the work from the end of 1 year to the next, because when I sat down for the first time and they started bowling, I was like, wow, we actually are really, really good. So that's just a testament to show what hard work does. And if you really want to be good at something, you do have to put in that hard work. I want to introduce now our seniors, Jenna Bianco, Paige Swift, Sierra Vasquez, and our other senior, Savannah Farrell, I don't believe made it tonight. So I wish she could have been here as well. The rest of the varsity team, Kaylin Dean, KK. Zuzana Mistella. And Lauren Haynes. And unfortunately this year they did not have a state tournament for bowling. There is no doubt in my mind that this crew would have competed to win their 4th sectional title in the last 5 years, but unfortunately that didn't happen. They had one tournament, the Shore Conference tournament. The ladies placed 3rd after the qualifying round and ended up 4th place overall, which in the only tournament of the year, we'll take it, okay? We will take that. We're looking forward to next year getting back to normal, getting back to tournaments every weekend, and, you know, let's bring in some more trophies into that trophy case. So, ladies, congrats. Well done. Oh, picture. Keep forgetting about that. Okay, I would now like to call up Coach Versillo. Coach Versillo to the podium.
Corey? All right, good evening. All right. Well, I want to thank the Board of Education and the superintendent, obviously, and my great athletic director that was here each and every day starting July 13th when we started football, when the state allowed us to begin to practice. We took advantage of that. Not every school did, but we did. And I'm very proud of these young men for doing that. It's a very difficult game. As you know, we didn't have our typical off-season preparation, and so we tried to take advantage of every minute that we could starting July 13th. At that time, they didn't give us a league or a conference to think that we were going to actually win any kind of title. As time went on and we battled through, we were one of the few teams that actually played 9 games. Many of the teams only played 6, 4, 5, maybe 8. They didn't make it. They fell by the wayside. These guys did, and at the end, for some strange reason, they said we were the Patriot team, the Patriot League, and we won a title. So that was news to me. We found that out like months later. Anyway, I'm very proud again to have coached these young men. But more than this, I'm very proud of all the kids that play sports for Lacey Township High School. If you don't mind, I'd like to applaud them, not only these guys. I'll introduce my seniors. We have a few here. Others are working. The ones that are here, please step out, and Jake, you hobble. Christian Booz, Austin Chadwick, Nicholas Povia, Nicholas Christina. Brandon D'Angelo, Chase Granite, Dylan Hilsheimer, Jake Hull, Jason Jackson, Tynan Jensen, Gerard O'Connor, Mario Ramirez, Liam Sanger, and Zach Stroin. Seniors, raise your hand. Be acknowledged. I have two coaches that came today, Coach Stupiello and Coach Tobin. I'd like to recognize them at the far end of the group. Again, thank you for having us, and congratulations to all the great athletes and all the athletes in Lacey Township High School. And with that, I bid you good evening.
Guys, come out this way. Congrats, guys. Congrats, guys. Good job, good job, good job. Nice haircut, Christina. You could air it when it's right now. So, right out there. You're okay, you're okay. It's going to be okay. Before I call up the next coach, I'd just like to point out and thank Coach Versillo for 40 years of pride and tradition. I've been in athletics for 18 years now in the Shore Conference in multiple sports, and it's basically unheard of. There's about 3 other coaches in the state of New Jersey that even come close to matching what he does. And I know when I started here 18 years ago, I stayed, chose not to take an offer, and built on his pride and tradition. So thank you, Coach Versillo. Next, I would like to call up Coach Torrey, men's soccer.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Coach Torrey. First and foremost, I want to thank our Board of Ed, Ms. Del Vento, for even allowing us to have a season this year. I know everybody in this room went through so many obstacles, so much adversity. So, we were just happy to be able to step on the field and do what we love to do. The men's soccer team went 11-3-1 this year. We were Class B South co-champions. We were the number 5 team in Ocean County and the number 13 team in the Shore Conference out of 47 soccer playing schools. So that's, a pretty impressive stat. We had 5 players who were named All Division and All County. They were DJ Edinger, GK Hernandez, Cody Besser, Noah Hamuda, and Anthony Leporino. Cody Besser and Noah Hamuda were also named All Shore and All State. In addition to all the success we had on the field this year, I just can't say enough about this group of young men and how they just showed up each day. They didn't ask questions, they didn't complain, they didn't One, they just showed up. We couldn't even, pass a soccer ball or shoot or scrimmage the first couple of weeks, and they just showed up, worked hard, and did what was asked of them. And I think that translated to a lot of our success on the field. It wasn't always easy. It wasn't always pretty. If you look at our scores, there was a lot of 1-0 games, 2-1 games, but they just always found a way. Throughout the season, every game, day in and day out, they found a way. We have 9 seniors who will be graduating on Thursday. They left a tremendous mark on our program. They're going to be greatly, greatly missed. And in addition to them, we have a fantastic group returning, and I'm excited about the future of our program, and I think Lacey Soccer is heading in a great, great direction. So thank you very much for having us tonight, and congratulations to everyone. Want to get a picture?
Awesome, thank you. Dude, leave the hat on. It's part of the style. Tell Will to talk to me. I gotcha. Good job, guys. Good job. Awesome job. I'd like to thank Coach Torrey, Coach Cashin, and Coach Pierce for being in attendance tonight. A little story is, it was August, and obviously everybody's outdoors a lot more. And I had a police officer that played back in here back in the day, and he won a state championship here. And he said, "Why are you having scrimmages so early? That's kind of crazy. I didn't know scrimmages took place now." And I said, "It's not a scrimmage. That's an inter-squad scrimmage." He said, "I can't tell you when the last time since I was in high school," and I will say it was quite a while back. He's retiring from the police department this year, just for you to know numbers. And he couldn't believe it. And I don't think anybody realizes, since Coach Torrey has taken over the program, the numbers that have, they're busting at the seams. And that is one thing I'm thankful for in athletics, is a lot of these programs during a pandemic year, you talk to a lot of other schools, "Oh, we're struggling, we're down a team, we don't have this, we don't have that." And here at Lacey, that's not a problem. We are literally busting at the seams. So Coach Torrey, congrats on that, and keep that going. Next, speaking of busting at the seams, we are going to be calling down the wrestling team and Coach Bonatitis, who have tripled their numbers in growth since he has taken over.
What's up, mates? All right, guys, good evening. Coach Bonatatis, obviously the head coach of the wrestling program. I want to first and foremost just thanks to the Board of Education, our administrators, Coach Delvento Evans, for putting this together and acknowledging our student athletes on their success, their hard work, their dedication, their resilience throughout a very difficult year. I also would like to congratulate all the student athletes for those exact same things. I know this was a very challenging year to navigate through, so just a round of applause for all of our student athletes that are here tonight. Just to give a short summary or an overview of our season, this season our record was 7-1. On a normal schedule wrestling, we usually have about 20 to 25 duels. Obviously this season that was shortened, we got 8 duels in. However, we were able to accomplish a feat that has eluded our program for 22 years, that B South Championship. We beat Point Borough, that clinched that title for us this season on a very exciting duel, again, which was allowed us to win that first B South title since 1999. Also, we were able to finish our season ranked number 9 in the Always Tough Shore Conference, another feat that has eluded us since 1999. So 22 years has passed since our program has won a divisional title, and also being ranked top 10 in the Shore Conference. So just a round of applause for our boys up here. Very proud of these young men. They put in a lot of hard work. Wrestling's a little different in the aspect that the outsiders aren't able to see how we practice or our practice room. A lot of the other athletic programs have fields, tennis courts, so on and so forth. Our wrestling room is just in a closed padded room. So a lot of the hard work that these boys put in really only gets showcased in that 6-minute match that they're allowed during their competitions. So I'm extremely proud of this group of individuals. I'm going to talk a little bit about our seniors and some of the accomplishments some of the kids had, and then we'll move on. Actually, only seniors that are here tonight are Colin Rolak, Vinny Fantasia. You guys just take a step forward. Any other seniors? All right, so just those 2 seniors are here tonight. Just goes to show what we expect out of this program in the years to come going forward. We're really young, so that sectional title that this program has yet to accomplish, the goal obviously is going to be able to attain that next year along with a Group 3 championship. Some individual accomplishments just to touch upon real quick. This year, our B South division, you guys just take a step forward. Aiden Ott wrestled 113, he's first team B South. Brady Carter, Mason Heck, Andre Ferriola, Colin Rolak, James Circle, Matt Kuhn, and Vince Egley. Segley's another senior captain that's not here tonight. He's on a college recruit visit. Excuse me. First team all Ocean County, we had James Circle and Vince Egley. And second team all Ocean County, Colin Rolak and Matt Kuhn. Also, our 2 senior captains, Colin Rolak and Vinny Segley, qualified for the state tournament in Phillipsburg this year, not in Atlantic City. And Vince Segley ended up finishing out his career with a 6th place finish in the state tournament. You know, although it's extremely nice to be acknowledged for the accomplishments on the wrestling mat, what we do as coaches is teach life lessons through sport. I know I can speak for myself and my coaching staff that's not here tonight, but we're extremely grateful for the opportunity to continue to chase our dreams. So thank you to the town, the Board of Ed, and our administrators. Thank you. Oh, wait, you guys can start. Picture. Yeah. Next up. Yeah, Bo. All right, man. All right, man.
Since in between teams, we've had a little bit of fun facts and community and bringing out a few facts. So something that will sit and resonate in your mind tonight is that it's been, I believe, 22 years since we won our last conference championship in wrestling. So congratulations again, guys. We have 2 teams left. I'm going to start, since I said we haven't won one in 22 years, and we're going to go with a team that has won their first conference championship in the history of Lacey Schools for boys volleyball. Coach Romeo, come on down, guys.
Thank you and good evening. The 2021 boys volleyball team was nothing short of historic. In 2020, our motto was simple. It was fight. We were rebounding from a 7-9 season. We had 10 seniors last year who were hoping to make this history in 2020, and then our season, like many other things, was taken from us by COVID. So it was only natural that for 2021, our motto became finish the fight, and boy, did they. Our pillars this season were health, safety, sacrifice, and win. Some of our smaller goals: catch up on a missed year of development for all of our players at all levels, get varsity back to 500, get varsity back to the state and short conference playoffs, make a run in the playoffs, and scout and prepare a 2022 varsity team on JV. It's safe to say all of these goals were successful and beyond. Some of our successes: setting 44 new school records in program history in categories including best in a single season, best in career, and greatest single match performance. Some of the players whose names were added to the record books: Carson Howard, Jimmy Baxis, Jake Sullivan, Kyle Coburn, Brennan Smith, G.K. Hernandez, and not here with us tonight, Logan Hammerly, who almost single-handedly reset 70% of our service records for season and career. Not to mention, in the 14-year history of our program, we were perhaps the closest team this program's ever seen. In addition, the boys raised over $10,000 over 3 fundraisers, and they did a thing. They won their first division title in 14 years. Let's give a quick round of applause for that. In addition to that, there's a lot of other history this program made this year because of this team and their hard work. The program crossed 100 wins in program history at the beginning of the season. We achieved our highest seed in history for state playoffs of 8 out of 32 seeded teams in South Jersey. Our first state playoff game, despite the fact we've always played playoffs on the road each year. Our first home playoff win against Barnegat. Most wins in a single season with 18. Our previous was 15 in 2017. And most hosted state playoff games at home and wins with 2. Some individual honors. 4 players were nominated for Short Conference Player of the Week. Those players are Jake Sullivan for week 1 of the spring, Kyle Coburn for week 2, Carson Howard for week 3, and not here with us tonight, Logan Hammerly, who actually won Player of the Week for Short Conference in week 4. But the boys weren't done. A couple of them had to distinguish themselves a little bit more for the state to recognize. Kyle Coburn was named B-South All-Division 2021. Congratulations, Kyle. Jimmy Baxis named B-South All-Division 2021. Congratulations, Jimmy. Kyle Coburn named Third Team All-Shore 2021. Jimmy Baxis named Second Team All-Shore 2021. It's something in volleyball that's not that easy if you're not wearing a CBA or Southern jersey. I also had the pleasure of coaching Kyle and Jimmy one last time yesterday as the head coach of the Ocean County team for the boys South Jersey All-Star game. So congratulations, boys. With all that being said, it's been our honor, Coach Sotero and I, to take this ride through history with this group of guys who honestly may have been the hardest working group of athletes we've seen in our program's history the last 14 years. And we just want to say congratulations to them and all of our athletes for all their achievements this year. We love you, we thank you, and we'll see you in 2022.
You're ready for prom. Here we go. Good job, guys. Good job. Congratulations. Congrats, congrats, congrats. You see how perfect we are. I'd just like to congratulate the boys volleyball team again. Entering the spring is hard because we were back and forth, and they were the only team that was left in the building. So they were the only ones that were left with only 2 guardians could show up, where outdoors it was differently. So it was a little bit unfair, but I know that they worked hard, and they had a great support team. We have many volunteers among their boosters, and their parents are great. And I just really would like to congratulate them because they did have, I'd say, the most biased spring season because they were cut off because they were indoors. So they made the most of it. They crushed it. They did great. They made history. And I'd also like to point out that Coach Romeo did get Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Coach. Last but not least, to conclude our ceremony tonight, the boys golf team is like, yeah, here we go. Mr. Kilmary and his golf team, come on down.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, can you hear me? Really? Oh, good. We started out the season where the first month we were virtual, and being my age, I had to look it up in the dictionary. I didn't know what it meant. But we got through it, and thanks to Matt Dolan, my senior captain, he arranged for captain's practices, which may be legal, maybe not legal. But he had the kids over at the golf course working at the driving range, the putting surface, and it paid off huge dividends for us. This year we were 11-3. First time we had a conference championship since 2005. We were the first team in history to win a tournament, the Wildcat. We had 2 four-year letter winners, Matt Dolan and Pat Zuccarelli. Matthew, he was also a participant in the Tournament of Champions, which is the best players in the state. Matt and Zook were pretty much the backbone of the team. They were medal winners in the Wildcat. Matthew came in 4th. In the OCT, he came in 2nd. And the States, he came in 3rd, which qualified him for the TOC. Mr. Zuccarelli was 5th in the Wildcat and 2nd in the OCT, tying his teammate, which was terrific. They also participated, the 2 of them, in the Challenge Cup, which is the best 12 players in Shore Conference, Monmouth Ocean. Monmouth gets to have 5 players. We had 2 this year, Matthew Dolan and Patrick Zuccarelli. What an accomplishment. Along with congratulating all the athletes and the coaches out here, it was somewhat of a difficult, unique year. I've never experienced such a compact season. It was like every day we were on the go. But these kids just did a great job. We had 15 young men out this year for golf, which is a record, I think. It just was amazing how many kids showed up. We had 6 seniors, so it was difficult for the underclassmen to participate in varsity matches because we only have varsity. But they came every time we called a practice. They came and worked at their game, and hopefully we can continue the success that we had this year. I want to congratulate the 15 players. There's only 6 here today because of work. One kid is at the dentist. I told him to open wide. I don't know what that meant. But the dedication was just great. We had a volunteer coach, Rich Larice, who helped me out. He was invaluable. I'd like to thank the Cedar Creek Golf Course for their hospitality. They are just outstanding for especially in the pandemic. Anybody who plays golf knows how crowded the golf courses are. And they always accommodated us, always gave us a tee time, and there was never an issue to get the matches in, which Miss Del Vento was very happy over, so she didn't have to reorganize the whole season. The parents, thank you very much for letting me be the guardians of your children, and thank you for driving them to the practices when we had them, and just accommodating every need we had. So the thing about golf, and I'm sorry to draw on, is ethics, honesty. And these kids are just wonderful, and they just ooze everything that's good about golf. And golf is a great sport because they'll play it the rest of their lives. So thank you. My team. And thank you to Ms. Del Vento, and I call her Amy because I'm old, I can do that.
No problem. I'd like to thank everybody one last time for coming out tonight. I know it is a busy last 2 weeks of the end of the school year, but I feel this is so important. Again, I'd like to thank Dr. Clark and the Board of Education for your support in allowing us to have this night for these student athletes to be recognized. Congratulations to all of you. I don't think you realize if you have a second during finals and through gym class, look up and down the hallways and see when the last time that 7 championships were won in a year. And it will take you longer than the exam period. So congratulations to all of you. Again, I thank student athletes for trusting in your coaches. Coaches, I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. You guys are legit rock stars, and I'm very thankful for you. The passion you have and the hours you put into your sport, you could make more money working at Target or Walmart. So thank you for what you do. I know it's a year-round job. You're very passionate for what you do. Parents, thank you so much for trusting us with your children during a pandemic year, all right? Because your trust, we could have gotten nowhere without you. So thank you to everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight. Drive safely and have a great summer. Thank you.